So for a while now, Ludwig has been getting criticism over how he seems to try to protect Hasan Piker. And if you don't know the context to this, I'll explain really quick. Because essentially what happened is, around a year ago, Hasan said that streaming was more difficult than so-called normal jobs. To which Ludwig, in a Mogul Mal video, responded with extremely minor criticism towards Hasan's take. Well, Hasan found that very offensive, and he went on to address what Ludwig had said both on his Twitter account and live on his Twitch channel, including accusing Ludwig of drama farming. Well, shortly after that, Ludwig then deleted the entire Mogul Mal video where he had criticism for Hasan in. And this then caused many people to view Ludwig as spineless for capitulating to Hasan. Some people even speculating that Hasan personally reached out to Ludwig and asked him to delete the video, but regardless of how that went down specifically, many people haven't viewed Ludwig the same ever since that incident. And now, according to my recollection, Ludwig said that he didn't actually delete the video because Hasan asked him to or anything like that. He said the video wasn't doing well, and the sponsor wouldn't be happy with that. Now, some people found this believable, but it seems like the majority of people didn't, and still view it as more likely that he deleted it because he was afraid of backlash from Hasan or anything like that. Furthering that speculation is how both Ludwig and Hasan are a part of that LA streamer clique. Of course, you'll have to come to your own conclusion about whether you believe Ludwig or not, with the whole reason that he gave for deleting that video. But the reason that we had that quick recap, that quick context is, of course, because, well, there's an update. As yesterday on stream, Ludwig actually addressed all this stuff. Before addressing the past, though, he actually addressed the current situation with Hasan and Kaya and the shot caller.
Do I think Hasan shocks his dog? I have no clue. I think he lied about having a shot caller. I think he 100% had a shot caller based off what's on my For You page. Maybe I'm getting psyoped. I feel like that shit is 100% a shot caller. But I got no clue.
So on one hand, at least he's kind of criticizing Hasan here, which for Ludwig is a very bold move, even though the bar's on the ground. But at the same time, this is a very cowardly way of going about it. Saying he's only going off his For You page, for example, that's implying he's only basing his opinion on YouTube video titles and thumbnails. Instead of, actually looking at the very compelling evidence out there, which really wouldn't take him long at all. Then saying maybe he's being psyoped and he doesn't know for sure what Hasan did. It just seems like he's trying to leave plausible deniability. Also, some people are finding it odd that he's just now addressing the shot caller controversy, so to speak, like 2 weeks into it. But let me know what you think in the comments. From here, though, he goes on to address the controversy that I mentioned in the intro, the deleted Mogul Mal video. That's gotten him lots of criticism from people essentially saying that he's just a Hasan bootlicker.
I have Insanity Jacob who said, R.I.P. Hasan had to make you stop posting, which is something that I have had follow me for some time now, and I wanted to talk about. Jellywig likes to talk about drama again. Let's talk about some shocking news that has happened on Twitch. Talking drama if it isn't Hasan, blah, 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 blah. Okay, a lot of people don't like when you talk about anything that isn't Hasan, right? You're not allowed to talk about Emiru in Soul until you talk about Hasan first, okay? You have to have your appetizer before the entree. I don't know. I think a lot of people's lives live through the lens of Hasan, and then you can talk about something else afterward.
All right, let's pause here really quick. So if people are telling Ludwig that he's not allowed to talk about anything else until he talks about what Hasan did today, well, yeah, that would certainly be weird. But I don't think that's really what's going on here either. What is probably going on is that there are people that know that Ludwig tends to cover big news in the streamer space. And if he consistently covers that sort of news, but then conveniently dodges a major controversy involving Hasan, well, people are going to assume that he's covering for dude. Even more so because of the prior incident that we went over, where people already think he's the sort of guy to do that.
Now, I wanted to talk about that because this comes from a video that I uploaded almost 2 years ago. I think it was end of February 2024. This is the reason why this happened. All right. I uploaded this video called Huge Streaming Drama. Now, the reason I uploaded this video is because it was February 27th. I had a sponsor and I wanted to make a lot of money. So I uploaded a video that talked about really not much. It was a filler video. But Hasan saying that streaming is harder than a 9 to 5. I poked fun at Hasan. And then I went on to do a sponsored ad read. I forget for what sponsor. And then filled up some bullshit, called it a day, made some money. Easy gig until Hasan reacted to it on stream. And then the video got a bit brigaded by Hasan fans who were upset. And the sponsors Not so happy these days. I don't know if you know this. When Hasan comes up for sponsored deliverables. So I took it down. All right. I uploaded the sponsor at a later date and then I re-uploaded the video. But because of that, I inserted myself into some shit that has been with me for 18 months. Bitch move? Maybe, but I also don't care to die on the hill. I don't think I was like making a poignant statement about how I disagree with Hasan's politics. I think it was the equivalent of, haha, Hasan said 9-to-5s are easier than streaming. Anyway, check out this sponsor. So it's not like a moral hill that I was here to die on. It was, hey, I don't want to deal with the brigading from Hasan fans. I'm here to do this for a paycheck. So let me delete it.
I'm not sure I really believe this excuse. On one hand, yeah, Hasan fans definitely do brigade videos that are even slightly critical of him, so fair enough. But on the other hand, he's saying that he just did this for a paycheck. But if that's really the case, then he probably would have left the video up, right? Because that way he can actually secure the bag. Deleting the video only gets in the way of the paycheck, the thing that he says he only did this for. Now, the sponsor part is also rather odd because 99% of the time, sponsors want to know what video you'll be putting an ad read in before you even release the video. Or at the very least, they want to know what the topic is. So it's highly likely that the sponsor was completely aware of the Hasan criticism in that video, and they still signed off on it. Ultimately, I'm not saying that Ludwig is 100% lying about all this, but perhaps this is the sort of thing where all that we're really getting from him is just half-truths.
Was it the right move to make? Probably not, but it's the move I made at the time. It is what it is. I'm not that hung up on it.
Well, I mean, I think he's somewhat hung up on it because he's complained about getting criticism for this exact thing before, and now he's addressing it again. But good on bro for at least admitting that he probably did the wrong thing by deleting that video. That said, there's definitely some issues coming up in this next part, but we'll get to that.
That was 18 months ago. And so, because of that, again, 18 months ago, I had dealt with people who now thought that, hey, Hasan messaged me, he made the boss call, I had to take down the video. That's not what happened. You can believe me or not believe me, I really don't care, but I swear on my mother's life, who I love more dearly than any human on this earth, that Hasan has never asked me to take down a video, and I did not do that because he asked me to. It just never happened, right? It didn't happen on everything. You don't have to believe me. I don't care. That just is the fact.
You don't gotta believe me, I really don't care, he says as he addresses this on stream. Because he doesn't care, right? I mean, come on, that just sounds silly. But that's just a fun little side thing. Here's the main point. Sure, Hasan may not have directly asked or told him to delete the video, but that doesn't mean that he still was not scared to leave the video up after Hasan expressed his dislike of the video. And or that Hasan may have reached out to him in private about the video, and Ludwig then capitulating to the pressure, even without Hasan directly saying, like, take that video down, bro.
You know, I think a lot of people are under the impression that Hasan operates a cabal of LA streamers and is an all-powerful being, and that's why people don't speak out. I don't know where this delusion comes from. The culture war was won by the right-wingers in the November election of 2024. It is more popular to hate on Hasan than to stand by him. But for some reason, I feel like people are under the impression that the inverse is true. It's just not true. It's just not true. If you don't believe me, watch Ninja stream and he goes, check this out, shock dog, bleh.
5 big years.
And it's the most viral thing he has done in the past like 3 years. Like, what are we talking about here? We're acting like it's popular to defend Hasan or some shit. All right. And I don't understand why.
So first of all, Hasan may not run a cabal of LA streamers, however Ludwig is defining that, but we do know objectively speaking that many privileged LA streamers run defense for dude. This incident with Kaya may be the most glaring example that we've ever seen of that. We've had like literally 6 different LA streamers running the most pathetic damage control you could imagine, all for Hasan, and they keep getting caught in lies over and over again about Hasan and Kaya. Now the second thing, many people across the political spectrum dislike Hasan and criticize him. And that clearly doesn't have anything to do with Trump winning his second term. It has everything to do with Hasan making terrible points over and over again and being a very unlikable guy, and now someone who also abuses his own dogs. As for the claim that the right dominates the culture war, well, we really need more context on that claim, because someone can easily argue that on Twitch, it's more popular to defend Hasan. And we already know that on an executive level, Twitch protects the guy. Plus, many sellout streamers and their weird cliques defend Hasan as mentioned, and smear anyone who criticizes him. And that's all to say, once again, that these claims are more contextual than Ludwig is making it sound here.
Now, coming clean politically, I don't know if you guys know much about me. I share probably a decent amount of politics with Hasan. Not everything. I'm not a socialist. I like making money. CEO here. But, you know, some other maybe more social issues, sure. I'm also not even friends with Hasan. Legitimately, I'm not. He's not someone that I invite to like my birthday or things like that. He's someone I've done streams with, and I think they were fun. He's a streamer friend is the group I call. But we're not boys. My boys are Slime, Aiden, Nick, the people that I hang out with actually on a week-to-week basis. When I retire, I will never speak to 95% of the streamers I collab with again. Hasan is part of that group. That's a fact. This is just the reality of life, okay? Connor, I'm an actual friend with. Connor, I would actually speak with after. But most streamers, I wouldn't. It's just true. They wouldn't go to my funeral. I wouldn't go to their funeral. We would never speak again. The same thing that you would experience if you ever worked like a job and then retired from said job or moved on to a different job. So anyway, this is the reality. So back to the first question, why don't I upload on Mogul Mail? Why don't I do it? And if you followed me, if you're actually a fan of me, you know the reason. You know the reason. I've thought about it. I've almost cracked here and there. But after having some like internal reflection, I'm never going to upload a video on Mogul Mail again. Now, why? Is it because I'm shackled by Hasan? Well, no. Even the video that you might be referencing that I took down where I mentioned Hasan in February was months before I stopped uploading. I uploaded dozens of videos after that. So that doesn't really make much sense. Why would I upload dozens and then stop?
I'm not tapped in enough with the Ludwig lore to know why he stopped Mogul Mal, so yeah, I got no comment on that. But this has been Ludwig addressing the Hasan stuff, and you know my opinion on this that I've been sharing throughout the video already, so I guess I'll leave it there. But let me know what you think about Ludwig's claims and his response and all that stuff in the comments. As always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys have been having a great week, and I'll see you there as well as in the next one.